Good evening with your CIGTV News Update. I'm Edlin Ruiz in for Donna Bush. In our top story, the local community came together at a special event to honor the start of the annual Honoring Women Month observation. Government officials joined community leaders and representatives from sports organizations at a special training at the Marriott Hotel this morning. Minister Dwayne Seymour used his time at the podium to express his gratitude for the women in his life and for the role that women play in the local society.
But as a proud father of 4 daughters, 10 aunts, a mother, grandmother raised, and as a person who's most proud of the women who were left behind whilst her men went to sea and raised their children, built our homes, and I'm forever grateful by you, and you are my heroes. Have a great day.
Noting that this year's theme is #PushForProgress, a visiting trainer from the United States explained why it's so important that the Cayman Islands join the rest of the world in celebrating the annual event.
It's a way to honor women's contributions, not just to contemporary society, but throughout history, to acknowledge how central a role women play in every society in the world, obviously, and to honor that, and to put special focus on the need to address immediately the concerns of women and girls, because the concerns of women and girls, obviously, not only is that a global issue as opposed to a local issue, it also affects everybody. So the idea that somehow women and girls are some separate, category is silly. Obviously, women and girls are central to our lives, to our families, to our communities, and so International Women's Day is a way to honor that, and in particular call attention to the need to center on and focus on women's needs and girls' needs in a way that doesn't happen, unfortunately, enough.
In addition to training sessions today and tomorrow, the Family Resource Center has a number of events planned throughout the month. A staff member tells us more.
So for Honoring Women Month, some of the other events and activities that we are having, Art Nest is actually hosting a special canvas and mocktails session where people can come out and do a special painting for Honoring Women Month for International Women's Day. That's on March the 8th. Then we also have our biggest fundraiser of the year. The Family Resource Center hosts its annual Color Me Purple 5K on March 17th in Cayman and March 18th at Smith Cove. It's a really fun walk-run 5K, and people come out and get as purple as they possibly can in celebration of Honoring Women Month.
For more information about activities taking place during Honoring Women Month, visit www.facebook.com/Family Resource Center. The Gender Violence Prevention Leadership Training at the Marriott today brought people together about how women and men who are in positions of influence can act to stop gender violence. With this objective in mind, the Family Resource Center brought down 2 trainers from the United States to help facilitate the sessions. These included gender equality activist Jackson Katz, who also presented at last year's event. An organizer explained the agency's motivation in bringing Mr. Katz back for Honoring Women Month 2018.
Well, we brought him down this year as a continuation of last year's Honoring Women's Month to press forward for progress in the moment where it's globally we're pressing for change to have gender equality and gender parity and bring awareness to sexual harassment. And also we want to make sure that we don't just talk about it, but we act on it. And so this year he's come down again for trainings, leadership trainings on gender violence prevention, leadership trainings, so that way we can actually implement some of these new ideas and strategies with our leaders and within our society.
A focus for the academic, author, and filmmaker is the role that men play in empowering women.
So many social problems in your society and in mine and all over the world have links to domestic and sexual violence. In other words, sexual and domestic violence aren't just issues that are siloed unto themselves. They're connected to alcohol and drug abuse and child abuse and HIV and depression and other forms of violence. I mean, young men who get involved in gangs are disproportionately from families where there was violence in their family, they experienced directly. All of this is connected, And we can do better than this as humans in the 21st century, and the key piece that I think has been missing is men's participation actively. And so I hope that men here, and I know that there are men here who are wanting to hear this and who are willing to take the necessary steps, and I hope that our training is a good step in that process.
Co-facilitator LaShonda Coleman, who runs Pepperdine University's Sexual Violence Elimination Team in California, offered a perspective on the wider global movement against gender violence.
This is so important that we have this conversation, not only today, but every day. When it comes to issues related to gender-based violence, we understand that it is centered in attitudes and belief systems that suggest that there's a superiority over one person over the other, that can sort of be the root causes at times. Also attitudes and beliefs that suggest that it's okay to harm, and it's not. And so when we engage in conversations this way, we come up with solutions. We learn that we as leaders, we have influence, great influence over individuals in our very close circles, like our families, but also in our positions of leadership. That if we step up and use our voices, that we can help create change where no person in our community is impacted by gender-based violence or harassment. So this conversation is incredibly important, and all of the leaders that are here today, just imagining and knowing the sphere of influence that they have can create massive change in a very positive way.
A total of 4 3-hour workshops are taking place today and tomorrow. All places were fully subscribed in advance. Every year, the Public Library and Cayman Islands information professionals host a colorful competition for creative young readers. Our final story today takes a more in-depth look at the recent presentation of prizes to the 2018 winners. The annual storyboard competition uses visual representations to promote literacy and information sharing among young people. To enter the competitions, students chose a favorite fiction story and created a storyboard. Chairman of the Cayman Islands Information Professionals and Deputy Director of the Public Library, Paul Robinson, says organizers were pleased by the high quality of this year's submissions.
I'm so proud of our readers on island. Our students from ages 8 to 18 took part in this competition. The depth and the knowledge of the books is incredible. There was even some really difficult books that were of A-level standard that they were reading. So it's fantastic. The presentations individually and the knowledge to the judges, it was just exemplary. We're so proud of our readers. It's a fantastic attribute that the Cayman Islands has. They have such fantastic libraries and a love of literacy, and it's lovely to see.
Education Minister Juliana O'Connor Connolly was thrilled to be able to attend the event where she presented prizes.
I'm absolutely delighted and honored to be the minister responsible for libraries. It's my second time round. I believe as an avid reader that libraries are a very important institution. Although we've gone to e-books, I believe that our libraries have transitioned and have modernized to keep with the times. And it was especially delightful this morning to see the enthusiasm with the younger generation and with their parents as well, because it is a tripartite relationship between the government, the parents and the students, and the private sector for that matter, to ensure that we have an educated first-class community, and libraries have and will continue to play that role, which makes me especially pleased.
In total, more than 100 students aged between 8 and 18 took part. They submitted 49 storyboards and for their efforts received a variety of prizes. Sponsors included the Cayman Islands Public Library Service and Rotary Central. As always, if you missed today's news update, you can get all the details on our Facebook and YouTube pages. And of course, don't forget to tune into Radio Cayman's For the Record and Talk Today's shows, which are always packed full of exciting guests. I'm Edlyn Ruiz. Good night, and thank you for watching.